All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order, please. Will you call the roll, please, Leslie?
Tony Casada.
Here.
Kimberly Nguyen.
Here.
John Daniel.
Here.
Dennis Smith.
Here.
Mike Meyer.
Here. Please join me in the invocation. Dear Lord, we thank you that we can gather here this evening. We pray that you will give us wisdom and help us to make the best decisions for the city and the citizens of this city. Pray all this in your holy name. Amen. John, will you lead the pledge? Allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Walker, I understand you want to introduce the senior planner?
Yes, Chairman and Board. The city has had now for about 4 months a senior planner who's on board and will be taking over in some ways a lot of the issues with regard to zoning and variances and special exceptions and things of that nature. And so with this item tonight, a request for a special accommodation at 537 Dorothy Avenue. Joshua has worked on this item, and if it pleases the board, I'd like to have him present it.
All right, that would be fine. Josh, nice to have you here tonight. Tell us what you have, please.
Good evening, everybody. Okay. Like Brian said, my name is Josh. I'm the trustee on the new senior planner. Tonight we have a request for accommodation, which is a form of a variance for 537 Dorothy Avenue. The applicant, Helen Nolan, she's here today behind me. She's requesting an alleviation of the setback requirements for the R3 zoning. For R3 zoning district, which the normal setback is 25 feet, and she's asking for roughly 17 feet. In the background of the staff report, you'll see we have all the measurements. The main house actually sits at an angle to the road, so it's already kind of in a strange situation, strange positioning. The house itself actually encroaches into that setback by 2 feet because of that. And the porch and the ramp that were constructed, they sit at approximately 17 feet from that property line at its closest point. So the setback that they were requesting is approximately 8 feet. It's important to know that the actual where the porch is closest to that property line, it's actually about 34 feet from the edge of the road. So visibility that would normally be taken into account, it's a non-factor for this property. You'll see for section 82-322A, that's the section of the code that actually outlines all the requirements for people to make a request for a reasonable accommodation. The Nolans have met all of those. Miss Nolan is actually the property owner, which is number 1. You'll see, like I said, they're requesting relief from the requirement of section 114.765, which is the setback requirements. Mr. Nolan, who lives at the property, he is the one with the disability. He's had lifelong injuries resulting from cancer and chemotherapy treatments. He's had broken ankles and consistent falls. He requires lifelong assistance and has been deemed handicapped by a medical doctor. If those documents are requested, we do have those on file as well. Let's see. The minimum relief necessary to allow for him to use and enjoy his dwelling, the request is for no more than 9 feet in the setback, which would be right where it's at right now, about half a foot more. The porch and the ramp are 12 feet wide, which allows for a wheelchair to easily maneuver in. The requested relief is necessary because when Mr. Nolan is exiting his vehicle to go into the house, if there's inclement weather or anything like that, it's a bit difficult for him to do so, and without the wheelchair ramp in the porch at the front door, he would actually have to be physically carried into the front of the property. Request has been granted already to the city for inspection. The building inspector, Ricky Lee, has already been out there. He's already looked over the plans, and he actually has approved the engineer drawings that Mrs. Nolan has given us. Let me see. The city has actually done something similar to this. The last time that you guys did it was October 25th, 2022. And that was for a deck and a ramp, so it was a very similar situation. So upon evaluating the request, we need to make sure that the city's comprehensive plan and future land use designations are in line with the construction of this. And it's R3, which is medium density, single family, and the future land use is low density, single family residential, so it does conform with that. There's a list of permitted uses there. This single family home, which is what it is permitted in that zoning district, and all the surrounding properties are of the same composition. They're all R3, low density, single family residential, future land use. Let's see. Number 4 for the evaluation is not applicable. Number 5, which is traffic patterns, not applicable as well. There's no noise impact. The home is able to accommodate the ramp and porch. There was a code violation for an unpermitted structure, which is this structure. That's how this was originally found out. The Nolans put in a permit right afterwards, and the special accommodation if granted would actually resolve that code enforcement case. Question of group homes is also not applicable to the request. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay. City staff has basically deemed that there are 4 actions that can be taken by the board or commission. You can either find that the 8-foot encroachment into the front yard setback and handicapped ramp and porch at 537 Dorothy is a reasonable request and approve the encroachment. You can deem that it is a reasonable request and approve the encroachment with conditions. You can deem that it is a reasonable request but approve a different amount of encroachment, or you can deem that it is not a reasonable request and deny the encroachment. City staff, after reviewing everything and doing the research that we needed, we have city staff believes that it's acceptable to approve the request with the encroachment that it has right now.
Okay, anyone have questions for Mr. Josh? I don't have any questions about it either. So, do y'all want to speak? You don't need to.
You guys want to speak?
I just want to say.
Well, then come up to you have to come up, tell us your name, where you're from.
I live here. You want to know where I'm from?
Yeah, where were you born? No.
I was born in
Your address is fine,
537 Dorothy Avenue.
and your name is?
Helen Nolan.
Now you're on the record.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. I just want to say that I'm just trying to take care of my husband. He's 82 years old. He's had so much done that he's fallen, split his head open because he was trying to go on a walker that he can't do. And that's why it was, my house is kind of tiny. The bedroom is down 1 floor, so when he had cancer, I had to take him through the back and he could only be in 1 room. So that's what made me want to get this where it got up higher, where I could get him into the house or he could sit outside and eat. So it's just for that. I think it doesn't hurt anybody in the neighborhood. It looks very nice, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. No questions. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion of one of these four?
I'll make a motion.
What's your
accept it as
motion?
read.
I'll second.
What is your motion, please?
Accept it as read.
Okay, I do have a question for Brian, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt the motion. You got to do the motion a little better than that. This accommodation is new to me. I've never seen that word before in all the years I've been here.
We actually did do one back in 2022.
I heard Mr. Josh say that.
Yeah, we did one, and that was for 328, what was the road? So in that case, it was a situation where a young man had been hit by a car, and his parents went and got him from California, which is where he was living, and getting him in and out of the house was a difficult thing. So they built a ramp and they built a deck on the front of their house, did not get any permits. And this area of the code allows the city to, under the Fair Housing Code, to take into consideration that folks who are handicapped need to be given equal access and enjoyment of their home. And so what we do is we look at what they did and say, is it reasonable, given their circumstances as a handicapped individual, is it reasonable, this ramp, the deck, even though it extends into the setbacks, the required setbacks? So we did have one, and I forget what was the?
Clifton, wasn't it Clifton?
Clifton, 328 Clifton.
that.
Yes, yes. And that was back in 2022. So
I just don't, my
It's-
question was accommodation, I just don't ever recall that.
it was a while, we've probably done, I mean, in my 8 years here, we've done one, so it's easy to forget. And this is the second one.
What's the distinction between an accommodation and a variance then, Scott?
Well, the reason this came about, let me explain why I drafted.
Pull your microphone down, do you?
Why I drafted this code probably 15 years ago. There are these recovery homes, halfway houses, where people are coming out of drug recovery
Right.
homes, drug rehabs. And there are these homes that kind of help people get reacclimated into the community.
Mm-hmm.
And many codes, ours, we define family by a certain, you can only have so many unrelated people living together.
Right, oh,
You go
right,
beyond
right,
that,
right.
it becomes multifamily. Well, in these homes, they'll have 10 people, totally unrelated, living there, but they litigate all the time to say that they need to have it in, not in a multifamily area, but in a single-family area, part of their recovery program. And they have addiction. Somebody who's an addict is disabled under the ADA.
Right.
You're an addict, you're disabled. You meet the definition of a disabled person, which triggers what Brian referred to as we need to reasonably accommodate. So a lot of litigation you see is reasonably accommodate to the definition of family to allow more unrelated people.
Okay.
So we had one of these homes years ago, probably before 2010 when we adopted this, and I thought we just needed some guidelines to address this, to come up with some, to give us some guidelines to look at, to evaluate one of these requests. And so that's why we drafted it. The other one, we used it that one time for the individual, and I can't remember if it came here or if it went to the commission. Do y'all remember the horse the barn was built in the backyard with the
That
horse?
was us too.
Absolutely.
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
That we
Well,
do remember.
Then I put her through this. I said, well, you're asking, you say you have a disability, you need to come forward and prove it under our process. We had a process that she went through and we denied that.
Right.
So that's not really answering your question. Your question is, what's the difference between a variance and this? A variance is there something unique with the property that making the property owner comply with the code, it will create a hardship. There's something unique that the property owner didn't create. They're not adequately able to use their property without some type of relief from our regulation because of something unique about the code, whether it's shade or whatever the case may be.
Right.
This has nothing to do with the
Or
property.
zoning imposed on lots that were all too small with the new zoning. I'm thinking of the Rio Vista area.
Yeah,
Right.
those type of situations.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with the lot.
Right.
Anything unique about the property, this has to do with the owner
Just-
occupant.
right.
Something unique with this person.
Does,
So technically, this this entitlement, what we're doing is we're approving this for this person who's there. It's not something that typically runs with the land.
that was exactly my next question. It's not appurtenant then, it doesn't
But
run with the
There's a
land.
practical side of it, these improvements are permanent fixtures. So we're not gonna go out and say, okay, this person is no longer living here and therefore this needs to be ripped out.
Okay,
But if in the future you have a different owner and say a tornado goes through there and tears it down to where it needs to be rebuilt, it will have to be rebuilt back to code.
right,
So because that was, the relief we're granting is unique to the particular applicant.
Okay.
Whereas with the variance, you can build it back to what the variance would approve because that runs with the land and it goes from owner to owner to owner.
right.
So that's kind of the difference about it. And it is just to address disabilities under housing.
Got it, okay.
And that's what it's geared towards, and it creates a review process that we establish to help staff and this board and commission look at these things and guide their way through this.
Okay, we got it now. It was just, I was thinking that, because it was the appurtenant part that I was wondering about, because a variance is appurtenant, it runs with the land.
Yep.
Right. But this accommodation is specific to this issue, period. Okay,
Technically it is, but you got the reality of it.
Right.
You're not gonna go out there and monitor, okay, he's no longer living here.
yeah, you decide to move, we're not gonna make the new owner tear it down, is
No,
what that
but
was.
If it was destroyed,
Right,
and the individual's no longer there to qualify for it, then we have the ability to say, wait, you can't rebuild what you had there before because that was specifically granted to accommodate the prior occupant's disability. So unless, you need to apply, if you have a disability, you can apply and make the same request. Otherwise, you gotta build in compliance with the code. Or, if they wanna ask for a variance, they can technically do
Right.
that. If they have any, and that's a totally different review criteria. The 6, 7 things we look at for a variance are
Right.
totally unrelated to what we're talking about.
that's similar to the permissive use that I advise clients of often, was for where somebody is encroaching on them, right? So the easiest thing to do for them, rather than get in the big fight about move your fence over the line, give a permissive use letter, says, okay, you can leave your fence there, well, you know it's over the line, and when it falls down, put it back where it's supposed to be, basically. So we use that all the time, actually, pretty regularly. All righty, okay, I'm good. Dennis, if you would would you make a motion to find that the 8-foot encroachment in the front yard setback for a handicap ramp and porch at 537 Dorothy Avenue is a reasonable request and approve the encroachment?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to make that recommendation?
Yes.
And you seconded that?
Absolutely.
All right. Any questions? No? Ms. Montgomery, will you call the question, please?
Dennis?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Kimberly? Mike?
Yes. Motion's approved. Now you go before the commission. And Mr. Josh or Mr. Brian will tell you when.
Yes. So we are, just want to make sure that we are actually going to, so our next meeting is the 12th. We won't make that one, so you will be on the August 26th City Commission meeting. Yes, August 26th at 6 o'clock, this same location. All right?
And what do I have to do then?
Just show up. Yep. Same thing you did. So, you're not the 80-year-old, are you?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah. Okay.
People want to start drinking the water I drink.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't see anything else on here. Do you have any comments, staff comments?
No staff comments at this time.
All right. Y'all have anything you want to talk about? Football?
Yes.
It's just around. It is so close.
It's coming soon.
Preseason.
I was trying to figure out how to get it, since I don't have any kind of cable now, and it looks like the only way I can do it is if I buy Disney, so I can stream the
Amazon,
You talking
right?
about watching,
SEC.
you see college football?
Yeah,
You've got to get the ESPN Plus.
yeah, and you can't get it, but you got to get it through the Disney thing. Yeah, that's what.
But if you put on, if you get that, you can watch college football from like noon till midnight. Yeah. Now, there'll be games you really don't care other than it's a game. But,
Yeah.
But if you can,
As long as you can
Of course
record
watch
too,
them.
as long as you can record them, that's good, so I can watch them all week. That's
Yeah, and then some of them break it up where you can see multiple screens.
right.
You know, it's amazing.
All right. Well, thank you for that. So if no one has anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. I mean, I hate to have such a short meeting since we hadn't had one in
Second.
3 months.
4.
4? Is it?
April was our last, so 4 months ago.
Oh, my God.
I know,
Well, we
right?
didn't have any minutes. What happened? You didn't have time to get them done?
She didn't attach them? Oh, I guess she didn't.
Forgot him over 4 months.
She must have
Well,
forgot.
you know,
Yeah,
We
sorry.
have a lot of time, that's when.
I was
it's gonna
out,
get done,
so-
right? Okey dokey. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. As a second, doesn't require any discussion. All in favor, say aye.